So on this episode of Building a Pro Car, we are going to be doing the roll cage. So we've already done the fuel cell thing. If you missed that, that's on a different episode. But we're going to be building a cage in this. We started off by shaving everything, so everything's all shaved off all over, especially all the weird like pockets and stuff down there. And then I always start off by building the B-pillar first. So what we're going to do is figure out where we want the B-pillar to land. Originally I was thinking up here, but I think we're just going to land it down here in this bottom pocket because it seems a lot safer down there instead of like a floating box scenario, even though this car technically has kind of a roll bar in it. So we're going to add a box down here. So I'm going to build like a triangle box, something that just seems to sit kind of flat in that pocket. And then what we're going to do is build the B-pillar. It's going to come up, come across as tight as it possibly can, and come all the way across. Yes, we already cut the roof off. That was kind of on an early edition of how to build a Pro 1 car. But yeah, that's basically what we're doing. So the Formula Drift car that we are building, this is an E82 chassis. I've always wanted one of these things. This is my first time actually getting to drive one and have one. I've only drove it into the trailer, out of the trailer, and we tore it apart. So haven't actually drove it on the street yet, haven't like ripped a lap or anything in it yet. I'm just hoping based off of the wheelbase and the size of this thing, it should be phenomenal. So we'll kind of show you what we're doing for suspension and all that later, but let's jump on the more important part at the moment, which is the cage. So first thing we're gonna do is build a B-pillar. I normally measure it out and then kind of eyeball it from there, and I'll tell you what our ideas are and what we're gonna build. So stay with us. I'll show you how we, I guess how I tape measure it off first. So what I'm going to do first is measure from here up, around, through the top, across, and back down. Give me a total measurement length, basically, to have the first idea of where and how long of a cage we need. I'm going to guess probably about 130 inches, but pretty simple. So not far off. So we have 135 inches. So we're going to cut a 135-inch bar, and then I'm going to start making the bends. These up top look probably about 65, maybe 25 on the side. So I'll bend the bar, and then we'll see how well it fits. All right, so we figured out the exact length of the bar. We bent the B-pillar, which you guys saw earlier, and now we're gonna build the boxes for the corners. So the box, basically, this is not very flat. It's kind of hard to tell in the phone, but you see how it goes up and down a bunch of different like levels, like here, 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 here. There's like a circle cut there, this, and this is on the side. So basically what I did was just clean it all up the best I could on the areas that we're gonna land on. And then basically just one of these little brushes. Oh, a trick for these. So when you buy these, this is a Harbor Freight special. They're very round and like pointy straight up. I take a hammer and hammer them sideways all the way around to try and get them to flare out. This one's already kind of closed back up, but if you can flare it out, then you can kind of get in this corner a lot better than trying to be like this and hit the sides. So if you're having problems, just boom, hammer this out, flare it out, it'll help. Then here's the box we made. I basically just made it 5 inches across this way, and then cut the top part and folded a triangle back. Normally I make it out of a piece of paper, but this one was just pretty much a triangle. So this is gonna fit just like that. So I'm gonna weld this guy in first and then do the same thing for the other side. And I mean, there's tiny little gaps there, but it's no big deal. We'll be able to fill it because once again, like this isn't flat either. It goes in and out and steps around. So just do the best you can. We're gonna put this in. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side, which isn't clean yet. I need to clean all that out. I scraped the glue out, but I figured I'd show you guys. So putting it over there, and then we'll weld the B-pillar in after we weld the boxes in. We're also gonna scrape this off and this off here so I can tie the B-pillar directly into this weird, cool like bar thing. And then I kind of tap this in a little bit, you saw, just to get this concave in, and then the B-pillar is gonna literally sit against this all the way up to about up here. So I'm gonna clean this off just so if I want to straight stitch weld it all the way down, I can weld, you know, a couple stitches and we can be good. So give me a second, let me get this all welded in. All right, so I just got done welding this guy. Here's the little box. So that's what it looks like all welded in. Don't know what the best light is for you, but anyways, that's what it looks like, and it's good to go. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, so then we can mount the B-pillar. Okay, so now I'm bending my A-pillar right now. We're cutting this over, but so we actually got the B-pillar in. So the B-pillar is currently in the car and super, super tight. I'll come around this way actually. So if you look at it, it's actually stitch welded right here, right there, right there, right there, all the way down. So I think it's gonna make a really good A-pillar setup because this is super tight. And the goal is to get it right up against this ridge to give me as much head clearance as possible. So let me start bending the A-pillar. Basically, I just measured from here to this pocket, and then this pocket down to there, and then there to there. So the A-pillar looks about 82 inches. So we're gonna see how long that is and how it works, and that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna bend probably about 25 degrees up here, down, and then probably about 55 seems to be kind of like a common thing there. So let's try it, see how it goes. Oh, and just because a couple people asked, I am running a Model 3 bender by JD Squared. So just a JD Squared Model 3 bender. Simple bender I've been using a long time. I don't have a whole lot of room, so we just bolt it into the floor when I need it. When I don't need it, I just slide it right over there, and it goes right in that hole. So it ends up working out perfect. I just started the first bend, so I need to continue to bend this, but we're only at, what is that? 10 degrees right now, so we have a long ways to go. We're gonna go up to about 55 to start with and make sure that's enough. You can always pull more bend into it, so that's where we're starting, and we'll see how it works. All right, so I figured I'd show you guys how this turned out. So here's how the A-pillar is. It comes down this way. Let's see. There we go. It comes down like this. And I tend to leave just enough room to be able to weld behind it. So if you're looking at it from the side, it's like that, but there's just enough room to kind of get a welder behind this to weld it nice and tight. I made a second one to match this side. So this one welds nice and tight as well. And then as we go up this way, it welds right there. It welds there, it's welded there, there, and then back there. So it's pretty, it's a pretty snug fit. It literally bows right with the roof line, comes right down there, goes like that, and then comes right down. So basically hit it as good as I possibly can. Passenger side, same thing. Basically just copy the driver's side bend, and it goes like that. So I think for now it's pretty tight. It's in there, it's good to go. We're gonna do, let's see if there's any other angles. Yeah, it's same thing, it's all welded all up top too. So I think that's gonna be it for tonight. I'm pretty tired after all of it. So this part's done. So B pillars are done, A pillars are done. Tomorrow I'm gonna do the bar up here, this like upper bar on my head, and then do the drop down bars in the rear so we can start mocking up doing the rear mount radiator and all that. But I need to do the rear first and get the rear firewall set up. Then we can do the firewall for this guy too. I'll show you how we're gonna do all the firewalls. But yeah, so that's kind of it for tonight is the first step on the cage. But yeah, I'll pick it back up tomorrow morning first thing and show you guys how we're gonna bend this top bar and the kind of different options where we can tuck it. We can kind of either tuck it here, move it away from the driver's head, or if we're lucky, we can get it up here and tuck it up on this top brim. So two different styles. We're gonna see which one we can get to fit the best. And I am about 6'1". So when I sit in here like this, I want to make sure that my head is far away from anything. So the bar down here might be better for me. I'm not sure. We're going to line it all up and see what it looks like.